Tense moment in our nation's capital. Secret Service agents shot and killed a person who allegedly approached a security checkpoint near the White House and started shooting. Reporter Reed Binion has the details.
It's 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest.
Emergency crews responding after gunshots rang out near the White House over the weekend. It happened just before 6 p.m. Eastern on Saturday.
EMS 7, Medic 1 respond for shooting at 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest.
According to a Secret Service spokesperson, an individual approached a checkpoint just outside the White House complex and opened fire on officers. Secret Service agents returned fire and hit the suspect, who was hospitalized and later died. A law enforcement official said a bystander struck by gunfire in the incident was in critical condition. It's not clear if the bystander was hit by the suspect's initial shots or during the subsequent exchange of gunfire. No Secret Service agents were injured. President Donald Trump was in the White House as the shooting was unfolding nearby.
There are heavily armed White House police there around the corner in the driveway. There's not a shot that you could fire towards the residents from 17th and Pennsylvania Avenue.
Still, the action to secure the White House was swift. The Secret Service initially put the White House complex on lockdown and rushed reporters on the North Lawn into the White House briefing room where they sheltered in place. The lockdown was lifted after about 40 minutes. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
And officials later identified the suspect as a 21-year-old who had at least 2 previous encounters with Secret Service and had been ordered to stay away from the White House grounds.